Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the overly edited sermons of Draskir's Adventures in Supermodded Skyrim, aka Word Vomit title. In today's sermon, we pick up the threads of the main story by heading to Riverwood and renting the inn's attic room. There is no attic room, so Delphine directs us to the one on the left and then follows us in, though Zelzaz amusingly blocks her from view.
Follow me.
Delphine, being the paranoid mess that she is, demands that we follow her to a secret room before she's even willing to talk to us.
How cloak and dagger.
Before I tell you any more, I need to make sure I can trust you. If you don't trust me, you were a fool to walk in here in the first place.
So you don't trust me, but I'd be a fool to come here without trusting you? What kind of backwards-ass logic is that?
The only one that can kill it. Can you do it? Can you devour? Good. And you'll have a chance to prove it.
It's pretty obvious from the start that Delphine is not a very likable character. She demands our information and trust while withholding both from us, and demands that we jump through the hoops of defeating a dragon for her to prove ourselves to her, despite the fact that she's the one who needs our help. Unfortunately, the only thing the game allows us to do is follow along obediently, or else the questline just stops entirely, so we're off to Kynesgrove to fight the dragon.
No, you don't want to go up there! A dragon! It's attacking! Well, I don't know.
Lo and behold, there's actually a dragon here. Old Alduin himself is resurrecting a dragon called Saloknir. I have next to no patience for this section of the main quest, so I set up and attack Saloknir right away to skip the cutscene, end up defeating him before he can even take flight. Talk about a real kick in the nuts. Delphine is more willing to talk now that we've fulfilled her demands. Of course, that appeasement will last only until she wants something more from us, which I'm sure won't be long. Confusingly, Lydia's in a tizzy over having just helped fight a dragon, despite the fact that our party defeated one on our way up to High Hrothgar. Just a little oversight on the mod author's part, I suppose.
This must have all come as an enormous...
In a cave across from Riverwood, a group of master spell vendors have made a hideout from which they sell their wares. In preparation for what's to come, I stop in and make a few purchases. I'm not running a stealth build whatsoever, so the Hidden Mist spell here will be a good supplement for any forced stealth sections that I'd otherwise be unable to do.
I figured out how we're going to get you into the Thalmor embassy. I've been doing this a long time.
Back at Delphine's hideout, she has a plan for the next steps, and really, I'll pile in the doorway, I suppose.
Regularly throws parties where the rich and connected cozy up to the Thalmor.
So Delphine wants to get us into a Thalmor party to steal information. What could go wrong?
I have a contact inside the embassy.
Stepping out of the inn, I get stopped by the courier who passes us a letter from the Jarl of Falkreath and the safe house pass that I was waiting for. Given that my next objective is in Solitude anyway, this merits an immediate detour back to the museum.
Considering how much of Skyrim's history we see.
With my inventory situated, I stop in at the clothing shop to buy a set of temporary clothes for the run down to Delphine, because no one needs to see me naked.
Excuse me.
Malborn here is in charge of getting my gear into the embassy, so I drop my stuff off with him and meet Delphine at the stable outside town.
Given Malborn the gear you want to smuggle into the embassy. Good.
I wish you good luck in the embassy. Try not to draw attention to you. I'll be hanging around the embassy at a distance. If you don't come out, I'm coming in to get you. I know that.
Without any further delays, we're off to the embassy, and what the fuck are you doing here, Lydia? This is supposed to be a solo job. Surely nothing else will go wrong, right? Right? Heading into the embassy, I have a little chat with Elenwyn, cause a scene, and escape into the kitchen to retrieve my gear.
Before anyone notices us.
With my gear retrieved, I engage in some ninja time to explore the embassy and grab a couple of relics for the museum. If you cast an invisibility spell right after you activate a door, you can maintain it through the transition. It's a bit cheesy, but we love cheese in this house, so I'll take it. Speaking of cheese, with the right angle, I can stealth through this door without being seen, despite the fact that there's a guy leaning against that door. And of course, this is where it all goes wrong. For some reason, Lydia attracts the attention of the guards in the second building, despite being invisible in the first, so this is where stealth goes out the window. After dying to a firebolt and reloading, I decided it's just not worth the effort to try stealth again, and cut my way through the rest of the embassy. Thank you, Thalmor Embassy. Your donation to the gallery library is greatly appreciated. Just a few more things for the museum. Gotta make sure we get everything because we can never come back here. Confident that I've gotten everything from the upper levels, I head into the dungeon to loot the quest objective, save a random prisoner, collect another head, and save Malborn, who somehow managed to get caught. This is another one of those things that doesn't make sense if you think about it for more than half a second. How did Malborn get caught? It always happens no matter what. Whether you're a ghost that never gets caught or you leave a body in every room, Malborn is always pegged as a spy. It just doesn't make sense. Making it back outside, Lydia's all super worried about me, pretending like she wasn't there with me, fucking up my stealth.
Had me worried sick with that little infiltration.
How did it go in the embassy? Did you get what we needed? At least you made it out alive. Do the Thalmor know anything? Are they behind? So my assumption was correct, and this risky operation was entirely meaningless.
Back at the hideout and... what? Delphine, what was the point of sending me into the embassy if you could just phase through walls? Now that reality has corrected itself, I update Delphine on my findings and she sends me off to the Rift in Ratway, where one of her old Blade associates is hiding. In the deepest part of the Warrens, there's a famously paranoid old man called Esbern, one of the last surviving members of the Blades. He was a Blades archivist, someone knowledgeable on their deeper lore, and we'll need him to help defeat Alduin. Apparently.
This'll just take a moment. This one always...
One eternity later.
There we are. Come in.
Let's go.
Make yourself at home.
While Esbern collects his things, I help myself to some of his books, taking another generous donation for the gallery library. Thanks, Esbern. And a special ring, too? Nice.
There are a lot of unsavory individuals.
And of course the Thalmor are hot on my trail. Time to do what I do best, dropping bodies. Back at Riverwood, we get a dollar store quest from the courier, deal with an overgrown chameleon, reunite Esbern and Delphine, and get interrupted by a recruiter for the Vampire Hunters Guild.
The Dawn Guard is looking... Ha! Ezron's going to like you.
Back in the secret hideout, Esbern is already giving a lecture about Blade's lore, Skyhaven Temple, where Alduin's wall was recorded. If anything can point me in the direction of defeating Alduin for good, it'll be there.
Forgetfulness of centuries. A wise and foresighted policy.
Despite the fact that Esbern didn't mention anything about the location, Delphine correctly identifies the location for Skyhaven Temple as being near Karthspire in the Reach. So, that's our next destination.
We'll wait for you near Karthspire. Good luck.
And entertainment.
Dragon's just gotta roll over, you know? Get comfortable for his eternal sleep. Arriving at Karthspire, there's a mage fight happening. And of course there's a dragon here as well. Just my luck. Getting the lizard out of the sky is easy enough, but it landed really far away and I'm out of magicka, so I die and have to run all the way back.
So, a costume? You're not serious. Sure.
Upon my return, Esbern is mysteriously missing, and Delphine is talking like she's still en route to Karthspire despite being a stone's throw from it. The dragon fight is just as annoying as usual, and it even has the audacity to land in the same annoying spot as before. I ain't taking any chances this time. Keep my distance and put arrows in it till it goes down. With the dragon dealt with, I wait around for a while to see if Esbern ever shows up, and instead I get an assassin spawn. Except, it's clearly not one of Astra's usual Dark Brotherhood goons. This is new. He's really tanky too, taking hits from me, Lydia, and Zelzaz and not losing much health at all. Lydia has dialogue for it, so this must be something related to the IFD Lydia mod. We'll come back to that eventually. I decide to see if starting the fight will trigger Esbern to spawn, so I run in and fight some Forsworn, only to neglect my healing and die. Apparently that death was enough to get Esbern in gear, because he shows up right after the reload despite being absent for the prior fight. I almost die a couple of times dealing with the Forsworn, but they get put down eventually, and we head into the cave where Skyhaven Temple is hidden.
Go.
There's a couple of puzzles leading up to the temple door, but I honestly hesitate calling them puzzles. They're so simple a baby could do given enough time, and it makes me wonder how the Forsworn stopped short of the puzzles instead of pushing up to the main door. At least that would be a sensible stopping point.
The Akaviri blood seal can only be opened with the right kind of blood. Your blood, Dragonborn.
Of course it's a blood seal.
Look here. You see how the ancient blades we hear? See what it is?
Coming to life. You did it. Where's the entrance? After you, Dragonborn. You should have it.
Almost entirely intact.
Stepping into Skyhaven Temple, Delphine goes around lighting braziers, presumably with magic, given her lack of torch. I try to console one into her hand, but alas, no go. Deeper into the temple, Esbern exposits on the lore of Alduin's wall, breaking down the imagery and stories recorded there.
You mean they used
At the end of the exposition dump, Esbern reveals that a shout was used to defeat Alduin in ancient times, something that only the Greybeards can help us uncover now.
Remember, this is where
Of course, this upsets Delphine, who thinks the Greybeards are cowardly monks who talk to the sky or something. Delphine clearly doesn't like the Greybeards much. She also doesn't seem too interested in fulfilling her own self-declared doctrine of serving the Dragonborn, as we'll see later on. I think she's been on her own for so long that she isn't prepared to suddenly relinquish the leading role to another, but that is never stated in the game, so people are just left to speculate. But that's the end of the Blade section of the main story. They'll be back again in the next episode for a particular dilemma, but their involvement in the fight against Alduin is pretty much concluded. Funnily enough, their involvement was actually pointless. The Greybeards know perfectly well what I need to fight Alduin and how I can get it, they just didn't want to reveal it because it's against their ideology. But we'll get to that in the next episode.
Hopefully he is able to see the greater picture here.
That's it for this one, folks. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you next time.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to? Yes,
For matters of such gravity, we need to know where you stand, or who you stand with. The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds.
So the Greybeards have an equal dislike for the Blades. Why am I not surprised? Who wants to bet that both sides will be too busy squabbling to actually get anything done?
Be used for their own purposes?